We've spent about 3 years designing, researching, engineering, and testing our latest juicer. And what we've done is take some of the features from some of our existing juicers, as well as come up with some new innovative ideas to create what we think is the best cold press slow juicer on the market. So what are some of these features? Well, it starts out with the motor. I've got it right here. This is what the motor looks like in the Sauna 727 Supreme. And this is a very advanced BLDC motor. It costs us about 3 times as much to produce, but we think it's worth it because of some benefits. The benefits are, first of all, it's lightweight. That means it's easier to move the juicer around. It has a high power to weight ratio. It's a 150 watt motor, but it actually tends to draw 30 or 40 watts most of the time, so it's very energy efficient. It's also very quiet. It's quieter than some of our other juicers. So that means you can be juicing at home without, interrupting the people watching TV, or just, it doesn't create that loud racket like some of the other juicers do. It can also run non-stop. This is our first home juicer that doesn't need a cooling period. Most juicers will run 10 minutes up to 30 minutes, have a use cycle. This one you can keep going. You'll have to stop to clean, of course, but theoretically it could go constantly. Another interesting feature in this motor is that it's auto reverse. What that means is if a juicer gets jammed, let's say you're juicing carrots and you put a big chunk of carrot in there, sometimes those carrots get jammed in horizontal juicers and in verticals. This will detect it automatically. It will reverse the motor for a few seconds to clear that jam, and then it will start going forward again. But probably the most innovative feature, I think, in this motor is that this allows for variable speed juicing. Now, most slow juicers operate anywhere from 45 to about 120 RPM. The Sauna 727 Supreme lets you select the speed you want, starting at 40 RPM, 65, 90, and 120. Those slow speeds are good for things, let's say softer things like pineapple or berries that might be pulpier. It also tends to give you a higher yield when you're running the juicer more slowly. If you want to run the juicer fast with things like citrus and celery, you'll get juice much more quickly than you would normally get in other slow juicers without any loss of quality. So you can kind of play around with it. There's the four setting dial there that lets you choose. We found, for example, with oil extracting, you can start out at a low speed to get that oil extractor warmed up, then turn it on maximum speed, and instead of a drip, drip, drip like you'd get, it actually will come out as a steady stream. So we think it's really useful to have that ability. We've also completely redesigned the juicing system here on the Sauna 727 Supreme. What I want to do is just sort of show you the components here before we start juicing. Comes with a pusher here. It also has this dust cover. This just keeps things clean, makes sure when you're away you don't get any dirt or things in the juicer. And this pusher has a handy little hook on it, and that lets you just hang it on the side when it's not in use. An idea we took from our latest vertical juicer, the Sauna 828, is this dual feeding tube. It's got a small hole, standard size hole, for things like carrots, celery, most things you'll juice, sliced apples you'll put through there. But it also has this deep bowl. This deep bowl allows you to put things like cherry tomatoes, blueberries, raspberries, smaller things. And we've also found that it's handier for leafy greens, say baby spinach. You can put baby spinach in from the side, push it down with the pusher, and we find it's just a lot easier than trying to fit it all in the standard hole. I'd also like to show you some of the differences in this juicing chamber, starting with the cap here. The juicing cap has a rotating stainless steel blade right in here, and this blade spins and it cuts the pulp one last time just to get one last bit more of juice out of there. It also comes with 3 juicing screens. There's a fine juicing screen, a coarse juicing screen, and a homogenizing screen. The fine and coarse juicing screens both have stainless steel juicing parts here. and then they have a stainless steel wing insert. This is where the juice comes out into the glass, and it's one last place to catch the last pulp. And we decided to make the stainless steel for the first time, just for the highest hygiene levels. The core screen's the same, but it just has slightly bigger holes here and here. It means less pressure. You'll get lower yield, pulpier juice, but it's great for things that normally are difficult to juice. Again, things like pineapple that have a lot of fibers that tend to get backed up. Finally, the homogenizing screen. It's just one simple blank screen, and this just crushes things, useful for making things like peanut butter, sorbet, almond milk, things like that. So let's move those out of the way. Take a look at the auger. The auger's been redesigned, and it's got wider fins. What that means is this auger, as you're feeding in, say, carrots or celery, it takes a bigger bite out of them. It actually lets it do a bit of self-feeding with smaller things, smaller pieces of carrot, smaller celery. You don't even have to use the pusher. The juicing chamber itself, the connection has been redesigned. It's just a one-touch operation to remove. Just comes in and out like that, snaps back into place, and it has this juice flap. This is something that's normally found only on vertical juicers. On a vertical juicer, this is used to mix things. That's not the case with a horizontal like this. Instead, this cap is kept open during juicing, and when you're done, you can close it, take it to the sink to clean, and you don't have to worry about the juice dripping across the counter. You can also keep it closed, which makes washing it up really simple. Assembly's really easy. You just snap it on, put in the auger, put on the screen that you're using, and close the cap, and it's ready to go. One thing we pride ourselves on at Sonnet is to include premium accessories with our juicers. Most juicers come with just a plastic juice cup and a plastic pulp container. We like to go a little farther, and I think we've taken the real big step ahead this time, and that's because we've included a very special juicing glass. In fact, this isn't a glass, this is handmade Bohemian crystal. I recently went up in the mountains of Bohemia to see these being made. And this is made in an old family glass factory. It's about a 500 milliliter capacity. It's heavy duty crystal glass, and it's kind of a keepsake. It also includes this custom stainless steel sieve, which fits perfectly in the glass. This is if you want the clearest, most pulp-free juice. There's also available a 1 liter plastic juice collecting cup in case you're juicing for more, but we find most people are just juicing for themselves, and half a liter is plenty of capacity. Also, we've got this stainless steel pulp container, and this reason it's stainless steel is because some people like to hold on to their pulp and use it for things like biscuits or soups or things like that. And this way it's hygienic, it's not touching plastic, and this one has a really big capacity, so you can do a lot of juicing before you need to empty it. Also like the way the design sort of mirrors that of the 727. So now you've seen all the features, let's see it in action, let's see what it can do. Now I want to show you how easy it is to clean the Sauna 727 Supreme. I just juiced a bunch of carrots, and what you want to do is just take it over to the sink. Make sure to close this juice flap here before you do that. That will keep it from dripping as you take it over there. Simple to use, flexible, easy to clean, and most importantly makes great cold pressed juice. That's the new Sauna 727 Supreme, our most advanced juicer ever.